On the question which is the first commandment, Jesus was very direct that the Shema is, which is at the heart of the Jewish prayer, expressing the oneness of God and our need to love God with everything about us. Hear, O Israel, the Lord your God is Lord alone. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. So if the Shema, which Jesus restated in today's gospel as the first commandment, is all we hear today, then it is enough, because from it flows the second commandment, which is to love our neighbor as ourselves. And here is the interesting thing. We cannot talk about our love for God without coming to terms that it is rooted in the love of God for us, that our love means nothing without the love of God. Because to love God is to recognize the love of God for us and to respond to it. So in essence, the Shema is inviting us into the love of God, which informs our love for others. At the foundation of our moral life is the love of God. And the moment we take away the love of God from our human affairs, the love of other things take over. And then what seems to be the love of humanity becomes the enemy of humanity. And we don't have to look far to see the manifestation of such in our society. How the love of money, of sex, of prestige, honor, and power continue to wound us and divide us. So to love one another and even to have power, honor, and prestige in a way that it serves humanity, we must focus on how they glorify God. When these things are sought in a way that glorifies God, it helps man to become more alive in God, who gives life and all that is good. So to live in God, we must love God with all our heart, in other words, with our whole being. For in classical Greek, as Pope Francis wrote in his encyclical letter, Delixit Nos, the heart is the seat of our passion and emotions. It is where crucial decisions are made. And as Plato puts it, it serves to unite the rational and instinctive parts of animals and human. So to love God with all our heart is to let God into our heart, to take charge of our innermost parts, and to inform every decision we make. Think about a decision that you are about to make or a decision you are making in your life and in the life of others. And ask the most important question, where is God in this decision? What does God invite me to do? And how can I love God in this very decision? For to love God with every part of our being is to submit totally to the will of God, to let God inform our decisions and actions, and to see everything through the love of God, a love that delights in doing the will of God, a love that is more than an idea, but it is the person of Jesus Christ, the eternal high priest who is without sin, but chose to suffer the transgressions of our sin. That is love. Looking at Jesus, we can see what the face of true love looks like, a love that is pure and holy, a love that is sacrificial. And to embrace that love is the only way we can love our neighbors and serve them for their temporal goods and their eternal good, which is the salvation of their souls. That love is born of the fear of God, which is rooted in the desire to have nothing separate us from God. One that is compelled not by fear of punishment, but of separation from the love of God. So in all you think, say, or do, always remember to ask, how am I loving God in this? How can I love God in this? And how is the love of God informing my relationship with others and all of His creation? May the Lord bless His words in our hearts. Amen.